The New York Giants just found their next move. Let's talk about it. But before I get into it, take just a quick second and do me two things. First, hit the subscribe and like button. Got a lot more Giants football coming this year. I'm going to be talking about all things Giants right here, so don't miss out. Like and subscribe. And then number two, comment below your thoughts on today's game. I know we're all disappointed. It was an ugly one. I've said many times on this channel, like, I'm not an idiot. I'm watching the same games you guys are, but I do my best to be optimistic. There are reasons to be hopeful for the future. So I try to be positive. It's not fun to just go through football season hating it. I try to find things to be optimistic about for the future of Giants football, even if this season might be an ugly one. But first things first, we got to talk about what the Giants need to do this week. And that is get Jackson Dart some more help at wide receiver. This was an ugly one. And the Giants could have won this game. They were right in it. Let me pull up the team stats for this one. Like, if you just look at total plays, total yards, passing yards, rushing yards, sacks, this was a completely even game, maybe even swinging a little bit more towards the Giants. Giants had more time of possession. They had ran the ball better, a little bit more total yards, more plays. But obviously it was those 5 turnovers. And just, some boneheaded turnovers that you aren't going to normally see. The Jackson Dart fumble was bizarre. You're not going to see Cam Scadaboo fumble it a lot. But then a lot of these turnovers happen because the Giants just desperately need a receiver. And especially now, I like Darius Slayton. I don't want to sit here and slam him. But, the fumble he had was bad. There was that deep ball that he really should have brought in the first half. And then now it sounds like he tweaked his hamstring, so who knows if he's going to miss time. And if he does, you just can't roll out another week with this group of wide receivers. The last pick that Jackson Dart threw was completely on Beau Collins. It was like when he got jammed and didn't get immediate separation, he just stopped his route. If he runs his route, maybe he doesn't come down with it, but he can at least bat it down. But he just gave up on the play and let his quarterback throw an interception. That was inexcusable. I don't want to see him in a game again. And then same thing with Jalen Hyatt. It's all the guy does is run in a straight line and isn't really great at contested catching. He and Beau Collins have no business being on an NFL football field. I was really excited of what I saw from Theo Johnson and Daniel Bellinger. And then I wouldn't mind seeing some Thomas Fidone moving forward too. I like this. I'm fully on board with running 2 tight ends with Cam Scadaboo. But right now, these receivers just aren't good enough. I'm okay with Wan'Dale. I feel like Wan'Dale and Darius Slayton are both probably number 3 receivers at best. And if Slayton's out, then you're stuck with a number 3 receiver and guys that should probably be on the practice squad. So let's just take a look real quick at some of the moves they might be able to make to help out Jackson Dart moving forward. Because the last thing I want to see, and that I think any of us want to see, is Jackson Dart having to deal with this the rest of the season, where you can't throw out a rookie QB. He does so many things well, but no matter how talented you are, if your receivers aren't open, if they're giving up on plays, if they are just completely doing nothing for you, then you're putting Jackson Dart in a terrible spot. So looking at some of the potential trade targets they could have, They do have like Amir Smith-Marset and Lil Jordan Humphrey on the practice squad. I'd rather see them than Bo Collins or Jalen Hyatt after what we saw today. Some free agents that are out there. You got Odell would be an interesting blast from the past, but probably wouldn't move the needle a ton. Nelson Aguilar as well. There's a reason these guys aren't on a team. Potential trade candidates. This article mentions Stefon Diggs. He's played with Daboll before, not getting a ton of targets in the Patriots offense. He's having a decent season, but Lord knows the guy just wants every target going his way, and he's not happy when they're not. So what better team to come to than one with no other competent receivers? But then they also mentioned Jakobi Meyers. He would be a really interesting one. He's in the final year of his contract. The Raiders are already way out of it. And then they actually mentioned Rashid Shaheed, who we saw today. And he's not going to be a guy who gets 8 catches in a game, but you saw he can beat you over the top, and he knows how to get separation and bring down the deep ball. So I wouldn't mind seeing him or Jakobi Meyers if the price was right. And then another guy that would be interesting is Dontavian Wicks on the Packers, or really any of these Packers receivers. Right now, I feel like, they drafted Golden this year, and I think he's their wide receiver 1 moving forward. And then I've always really liked Jaden Reed. But then they have Romeo Doubs, they have Dontavian Wicks, and then Christian Watson is about to be coming back from injury. And then they have Savion Williams, a rookie who's starting to get pretty involved in their passing game. Plus, they like throwing to their tight ends. This is a team that's competing, but this is also a team that just has way too many talented receivers to put on the field at a time. So this is a Packers website. They believe Dontavian Wicks is the most likely to be traded. I would wonder if maybe a Christian Watson or Romeo Doubs could be moved as well, and I'd be thrilled if the Giants targeted any of them. And then I'd mentioned last week there's been a lot of talk for the Bears about potentially trading DJ Moore. Their coach, Ben Johnson, traditionally runs 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. That's why they drafted Colston Loveland, and Rome Odunze has become the clear wide receiver 1, and you got to imagine they drafted Luther Burden to be the 2. And then Caleb Williams throws to Olamide Zaccheaus a lot as the 3, and DJ Moore has just kind of fallen by the wayside, and he's way too talented to just be sitting there. As far as what the Giants would give up, there's been a lot of talk in the offseason and coming into the year about Kayvon Thibodeau being traded. It just feels like with all the different needs they're going to need to meet in free agency, and having already committed big money to Brian Burns, and then you have Abdul Carter, it doesn't seem prudent to necessarily give a big-time contract to Thibodeau. He's been playing super well. I wouldn't mind seeing... I've loved seeing him, and I'd love to see him stay on the team, but I think there's just bigger needs right now, and they could manage just fine without Thibodeau. And, I could see them trading for Thibodeau for DJ Moore straight up. I could see them trading Thibodeau to a team for a 2nd-round pick, and then maybe trading for a Jakobi Meyers or Dontavian Wicks for a 4th or 5th rounder, and actually having more draft capital while improving their receiver position. I think there's a lot of options out there. The Giants already don't have a 3rd-round pick, so I don't feel like you can give up a 2nd or a 4th without a trade like a Thibodeau where you get back another 2nd, because there's too many needs on this team to be missing picks and multiple picks in the first 4 rounds. So let me know what you guys think. Which one of these receivers do you want? What do you think the Giants should give up for them? Don't forget to give me your thoughts on today's game. But I think we all can agree this team needs to make a trade for a receiver, and it needs to happen now. We can't keep putting Jackson Dart in this position. I thought he played well today. Obviously, some ugly mistakes. He's a rookie. It's going to happen. But I think we're seeing enough flashes to know that he has all the tools to be the real deal. The Giants just got to help him out and get a receiver. And then don't forget, just like and subscribe on the way out. And I'll catch you with some more Giants content next time.